A mix-up led to the release of the wrong inmate. Also, it took 9 days, but Bucks County has finally fixed its dispatch system after a cyber attack. These city officials could have their administrative powers stripped. Plus, Pennsylvanian dogs are pretty fat. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and you're listening to Today in PA. Luzerne County Correctional Facility made quite the mistake, reports the Citizen's Voice. County Manager Ramilda Corcamo revealed on Tuesday how inmate Billy Partington was accidentally released last week after being mistaken for his half-brother Drake, who was incarcerated at the facility at the same time. Drake, you see, made bail on Friday and was waiting to get out, but never did. When he asked officials what the holdup was, they slowly realized they had let Billy, who was supposed to be released later this year after serving a sentence for possession of drug paraphernalia, out instead, with his brother's personal effects and all. WNEP confirmed yesterday that Billy is now back in custody. It took 9 days, but Bucks County's 911 dispatch system is back up and running after getting hit by a cyber attack, reports 6ABC. This is not to be confused with the cyber attack that hit Washington County, by the way, which this podcast reported on Monday, although we did cover this one too. Officials have revealed that it was a ransomware group called Akira that was behind the attack, one which seems to target government, manufacturing, tech, education, consulting, pharma, and telecommunications sectors. The core functionality of the county's computer-aided systems has been restored just in time for FBI Director Christopher Wray to warn the public that Chinese hackers are gearing up to quote-unquote wreak havoc on American infrastructure. The city of Chester is facing bankruptcy, states why. Today in PA previously reported how Chester was in dire financial straits, so much so that former Governor Tom Wolf declared it to be in a fiscal emergency a few years ago. Now the Pennsylvania Supreme Court has granted state-appointed receiver Michael Dowery the power to strip city council members of their administrative powers, thus affirming a prior ruling from the Commonwealth Court, which would also give him the power to remove members from their roles as department heads. Dowery has previously pointed out the damage done to Chester by its officials, stressing the importance of stripping them of their power due to obstruction and unethical behavior, among other things. Supreme Court Justice David Wecht agreed, believing officials may be quote-unquote unwilling to accept a recovery plan for the city. An attorney representing the city argued that this is a gross overstep of power, as well as a violation of administrative code. Pennsylvania's dogs are pretty fat, says PennLive. Veterinarians.org sent out a survey to over 2,400 dog owners across the country, asking them the breed of their dog and how much they weigh. Researchers then compared answers to the American Kennel Club's recommendations for healthy weights by breed, averaged them out, then separated it all by region. Pennsylvania pooches were found to be overweight by 18.25 pounds, actually making them the most obese dogs in the United States. This is 54% above the national average, mind you, making them very chunky. In second were Virginian dogs, and in third, those in Wisconsin. All that cheese must be hard to resist. That wraps up today's episode. For even more news, visit PennLive.com. And please remember to rate this podcast on Apple, Amazon, wherever. And to email me at todayinpa@PennLive.com with any thoughts you may have, or just to say hello. Thanks ahead of time, and of course, thank you for listening. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and we'll talk during Friday's episode of Today in PA.